This is their plight as they prepare for flash floods.
To move around Pili Street, residents cling to gyrovols to keep their footing, while children wade and play in the murky waters, a dangerous and exhausting task, especially for the elderly and the disabled. Residents say the situation worsened following the construction of the Sunshine Bazaar complex, which they believe disrupted natural drainage channels. Stagnant water now poses a serious health risk, breeding waterborne diseases and worsened by frequent sewer bursts. For Chipo, it is a nightmare she has grown accustomed to, with no clear solution in sight. This is in the backdrop of a public notice by the city of Harare, warning residents in flood-prone areas including Mbare, Highfield and Waterfalls to remain alert as heavy rains persist.
In the end, until the drainage is fixed, heavy rains will continue to turn into disaster for Mbare residents. Tafaras Bochiwe for ZTN Prime in Mbare.
Now, in other news, jailed businessmen Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu will be back at the High Court this Wednesday before Justice Pisirai Kwenda, where they are launching an application for leave to appeal against their conviction and sentence at the Supreme Court. This is a fresh attempt for freedom since their conviction last year for defrauding the government of Zimbabwe for over $7 million in the presidential goat pass-on scheme. Now, the duo was sentenced to 12 and 15 years respectively. Following their conviction, their defense counsel, Professor Love Momaduku, has launched another freedom bid, arguing that the High Court misled itself in finding them guilty. We are now joined live on the line by Professor Love Momaduku. Professor, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us, and good to have you here on Newsplus. If you could just give us a quick update on tomorrow's court proceedings.
They were convicted by the High Court. Under the law, they have a right to appeal to the Supreme Court. But the law gives a condition before you appeal to the Supreme Court, where you want to appeal on challenging, you are challenging the facts that were found by the High Court. You're also challenging the way the High Court assessed the evidence. If you are doing those things, you must get the permission of the High Court to appeal. And that permission of the High Court to appeal is called leave to appeal. That is the expression used. So you have to apply to the High Court to be given the permission to appeal to the Supreme Court. And this is what will be. So when they appear before the High Court, they will be arguing that they have reasonable prospects of succeeding in their appeal. They have to give a summary of the arguments that they intend to make in the Supreme Court. And also an assessment of their prospects of success. It's a requirement that you cannot just automatically go to the Supreme Court. You have to go back to the High Court to seek leave to appeal. So tomorrow will just be arguments on leave to appeal, and the judge may decide there that he allows them or he doesn't allow them. If he doesn't allow them, they still have a right to approach a judge of the High Court, of the Supreme Court, still seeking leave to appeal.
Well, Professor, thank you so much for your time and for joining us. That was Professor Love Momaduku, the legal representative of Mike Chimombe. Now, ZTN Prime will be keeping tabs on that story and give you real-time updates as they unfold. You are watching Newsplus. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory with more, because we got you.
You get it?
You know that. We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone, with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Catch exclusive interviews every weekday for candid, exciting, and thought-provoking conversations with your host, Erika Ndoro.
We talk about arts, we can talk about sports, we can even talk about politics, and sometimes we venture into a nice guitaristic play. The one story where you can't get out of your head. Wakatarisa munhu so Erika like where you are sitting. Ndozongokona bata face so pasina munhu.
Wakasiya music yako yo afro chakuti ndo music manje no yeMzimbabwe.
And I'm sure they're still saying the same thing now.
Yeah, so
Shona kana kuti Chindevere kana mumwe mutauri muno muZimbabwe ndiwe iwewe ndiwo rupawo rwako ndicho chidadiso chako.
Catch me, Erika Ndoro, right here on ZTN Prime every single Monday at 7 p.m. whilst we get exclusive.
Didn't graduate. I guess I blew it.
You couldn't advise him anything. He would just look at you and say, so who do you think you are?
We were just like really spoiled.
And then they just give me the receipt and I'd pay.
That guy walks in one day and then he says that he wants to make a movie.
He was blowing the money.
There was just like this habit that he had where as soon as he got money, it was gone.
I just didn't have the skills or the experience.
This money, I could see it disappear so fast.
Well, welcome back. You are still watching Newsplus. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the 2026 Midlands Provincial Strategic Planning Review Workshop kicked off today with a commitment to sustain the national development momentum gained under the National Development Strategy 1. The results include robust infrastructure and private sector investments in mining, agriculture and tourism, while outlining priorities for the coming year focused on decentralization, strengthening local governance structures, and fostering collaborations with academia, the private sector, and local community organizations to accelerate inclusive economic growth.
His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, during the last cabinet meeting held on 16 December 2025, that mechanisms should be put in place to ensure that the momentum that we gained during the course of the year is sustained, after noting that despite the global shocks experienced during the period of NDS-1, the Second Republic ushered our nation into a new era of hope, development, modernization, industrialization, and improved service delivery.
Now, another news, Sanyati constituency in Zimbabwe's Mashonaland West province will have an additional 50 village business units this year amid revelations that at least 43 boreholes have since been drilled, awaiting the installation of a solar-powered irrigation system. Let's get the details in this report.
Climate change has hit the Sanyati community hard, but new polarized boreholes are turning the tide, ensuring water security for both domestic and agricultural use. In 2025, 27 fully fledged village business units were opened in the constituency, benefiting close to 2,000 families with income-generating projects, while at the same time providing clean and potable sources of water.
Even zvipfuwo zvedu chaizvo zvakanga zvisina mvura yekunwa, dhibha takanga tinaro but dhibha rakanga raishayikwa mvura, asi pakuiswa kwakaiswa masola ari kutibatsira zvikuru kuzvipfuwo. Nemuno mugadheni medu takaita project yedu yegadheni iyi iri kubatsirwa nematengi aya. Neisu mudzimba dzedu chaimo chaimo tiri kuwana mvura yekunwa.
The community also lauded President Mnangagwa for introducing the model, which has started to change their lives and reduce travel distance to access clean water.
tange tisina mvura all along muchinetsa mvura muno nekuboorerwa kwatakaita mvura kwakatibatsira. Pari zvino tine chibage chatinacho mugarden medu takatosima madomasi atinawo izvezvi saka zvinhu zvatinotarisira kuti zvinhu zvichatibatsira.
Sanyati legislator and Mines and Mining Development Minister Dr. Polite Kambamura reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening VBUs through continued investment in water infrastructure.
Pari zvino takwanisa kuita 26 village business units ari kushanda pari zvino. Akatoiswa masola, akatoiswa mafenzi, atone makomiti evabereki ari kushanda. Pa 26 iwayo ndiyatera inisa MP tichiti pa village business unit yega yega tikubatadza fish pond.
The project, which has seen over 42 individuals become self-reliant at Kabanga VBU, has improved food security and generated income through a solar-powered borehole.
Saka zvinhu zvakanaka tinongotenda hurumende yakatigonera ikatipa garden taishuvira kuti dai tavaone mvura yekunwa tiri kutoiwana pagadheni ipapa. Vanhu vakatitenderedza vose vari kuwana mvura yekutonwa iso mugadheni medu tichitoitawo zvinhu zvatinotodzvara zvibage chichi saka zvinhu zvakatiitira zvakanaka.
The impact of this new project in Sanyati has raised hopes and also improved access to agricultural produce even during the dry season.
You are watching Newsplus. Stay with us.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition. Everything.
So here they come for the opening game, and away we are here at the African Cup of Nations.
Join our family meeting from the 21st of December to the 18th of January. Purchase a decoder for $30. AFCON 2025, live on Supersport.
Harare. Tune into the beat.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, your source for news, business, sports, fashion, and more.
Experience the pulse of Harare's culture and lifestyle.
Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's top radio station.
Join the conversation with Zimbabwe's top personalities.
Subscribe now for fresh and infotainment content daily.
Capital 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the world of business. After a year of renewed stability and improving investor confidence, Zimbabwe's equities market is now turning its focus to the year 2026. While a stable currency and easing inflation are expected to drive new listings and deeper capital markets, the planned delisting of Econet Wireless could test the resilience of the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange closed 2025 at 277.86 points, gaining 27.7%, with total market capitalization valued at 81.5 billion ZiG, the equivalent of $3.1 billion. As 2026 begins, early trading points to sustained momentum. In the year's opening session, the ZSE All-Share Index gained 1.17% to close at 281.12 points, while the week's opening session, the index advanced 2.82% to 289.06 points. The gains are anchored on a more predictable operating environment following the adoption of the Zimbabwe gold currency, which has reduced volatility and strengthened investor sentiment.
That the currency remains stable, that is also important. If people come in and when they went out and the currency hasn't gone bad, it helps a lot in terms of their returns. So I think that is also very important.
The US dollar-denominated Victoria Falls Stock Exchange is also expected to play a larger role in 2026 after delivering a 67.82% gain in its all-share index in the year 2025 and expanding market capitalization to $2 billion. With growing interest from both local and foreign investors, VFEX is increasingly viewed as a key platform for capital raising, particularly for infrastructure
mining, and real estate assets. However, the outlook is not without challenges. 3 companies and 1 ETF exited the ZSE in 2025, raising concerns around market retention. The biggest risk heading into 2026 is the proposed delisting of Econet Wireless Zimbabwe, a stock that accounts for over 20% of the ZSE total market value and was among the best performers last year.
Other negatives include a loss of ZSE's confidence, lack of a decline in ZSE's visibility, and also issues to do with liquidity of the ZSE.
As Zimbabwe enters 2026, the ZSE growth trajectory will hinge on sustaining macroeconomic stability, attracting fresh listings, and managing the impact of major exits, a balancing act that will define the market's next chapter. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I'm Eben Mabunda.
Now, still in business, Zimbabweans have raised concern over the impact of the newly introduced 15% digital services withholding tax, with e-hailing operators and economic analysts warning the measure could have unintended consequences on livelihoods and consumer behavior. Now, the tax, which targets payments for foreign-based digital services, is already being deducted at the point of transaction. Our reporter Tavaras Wochiwe filed this report.
Finance and Economic Development Minister Professor Mutuli Ncube has directed banks and mobile money operators to immediately begin deducting a 15% digital services withholding tax on payments for foreign-based online services. The tax applies to a wide range of platforms, including streaming services, digital advertising, cloud computing, satellite internet providers, and e-hailing services such as InDrive. Presenting the 2026 national budget in Parliament, Professor Ncube said the move is aimed at plugging revenue leakages created by the fast-growing digital economy.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I propose to introduce a digital services withholding tax in lieu of existing VAT on imported services for payments made to offshore digital platforms, including e-hailing fees, online content charges, and satellite-based internet access fees. The tax will be withheld by paying agents that include financial institutions.
While the government insists the tax will strengthen the national fiscus, InDrive drivers advocate for consultations as they find the new levy exorbitant for their operations. The chauffeurs highlight the new levy could dwindle their small profits.
So I don't know if there is a way the British English law rerukira matters because already pane mari dzakawanda with this business, fuels, commissions, data, you name it, wear and tear motikari a lot, and my fees I thought they are low already, saka break even yachinenge yakutonetsa.
Economist Blessing Nyatanga agrees that while the tax will boost government revenue, it could negatively affect the broader economy if not carefully implemented.
It stands to reason that InDrive will absorb the cost or pass it to the users through higher fares or revised commission structures.
Nyatanga warns that consumers are likely to cut back on subscriptions, including satellite television and online services such as DSTV and Netflix.
Subscriptions are likely to become more expensive as providers may pass on the tax burden to the consumers. This may actually lead to a decline in subscriptions, or it will encourage users to explore alternative, cheaper options, such as subscribing from South Africa.
As digital platforms increasingly become essential for work, communication, and income generation, stakeholders are urging authorities to strike a balance between revenue mobilization and protecting livelihoods in the digital economy. The government has not yet indicated whether it will review the tax, but calls for dialogue continue to grow as the policy takes effect. Tavaras Wochiwe for ZTN Prime.
Now let's just take a quick look at what's happening on the entertainment front. Zimdanso artist Romeo Anthony, popularly known as Shinzo Man, has been arrested for allegedly violating the Medicines and Allied Substances Control Act. The 37-year-old singer was taken into custody by the Criminal Investigation Department for Drugs and Narcotics at the Harare Central Police Station. Circumstances surrounding his arrest are currently unclear, but further details are expected to emerge during the course of this investigation. Blayo Theatre managed to scoop 2 accolades at the 7th edition of the Blayo Arts Awards BAA, courtesy of its reimagination of the classic musical Ipintombi. They skipped the Nkube Outstanding Theatre Production, while cast member Praise Nkube was crowned the Outstanding Theatre Actress for her lead role on the Ipintombi. And now we take a look at some sporting action.
In a world where music transcends boundaries, where rhythm and melody unite the hearts of people, comes a show that celebrates the power of music like never before. Get ready to dive into a sonic journey that will leave you mesmerized and yearning for more. Welcome to the captivating world of Z Vibes. Vibe to it, baby.
They call me Racer X, or in this case, Racer J.
Put your seatbelt on.
Now, in our look at sport, the Zimbabwe Under-19 cricket team lost the Youth ODI Tri-Series final to Pakistan Under-19s by 9 wickets at Old Harare Sports Club today. Batting first, the young Chevrons were restricted to 158 all out. Middle-order batter Michael Blignaut top scored with 60, helping Zimbabwe recover from a bad start of 15 for 5 to their total of 158. Omar Zaib was the pick of the bowlers for Pakistan with 4 for 20. Now, in reply, Pakistan cruised to 160 for 1 in just 16.2 overs to clinch the series, which also included Afghanistan. The series was part of preparations for the ICC Under-19s Men's Cricket World Cup, which starts next week and will be co-hosted by Zimbabwe and Namibia. Former PSL champions FC Platinum have announced the arrival of 9 players, marking the first signings under new coach Joe Lupahla. The Platinum Miners will be led by Lupahla in the new season after the club parted ways with long-time gaffer Norman Mapeza. They have since confirmed the signing of Makinan Mushore, who worked with the Zimbabwe coach last season. The club has also secured the services of David Mangezi, Garikai Dematsika, Tadiom Chenje, and Takunda Vereta. Also among the new acquisitions are a Malawian international Maxo Paipi, who joins from Silver Strikers, Namibian international Tachika Bakonja, Ghanaian Emmanuel Dogbe, and Cameroonian goalkeeper Ekoi Manfred. FC Platinum have also strengthened their technical team with Warren Mapanga appointed as the goalkeepers coach, Dilion Chivandire as the strength and conditioning coach, while Ashley Ndebele joins as head performance analyst and set pieces coach. And still in sports, Scotland have appointed lawyer Everson Chetambudza as the new club chairperson. Now, this is part of their restructuring, which also sees some of the executive leadership elevated to the board. The club confirmed Chetambudza's appointment on Tuesday. The outgoing chairman, Tondrai Sapkanya, and former vice chairman, Musa Gwasira, will become part of the club's board of directors. The statement expressed gratitude to Sakupkhanya and Gwasira for their outstanding service and extended a warm welcome to Chatambudza and Chidzizi. Now, this week, the club also parted ways with CEO Ronald Moyo, and they're still to announce his successor. And with that, we call it an evening. Good evening, and enjoy the rest of your viewing.